asleep.
Oh my god.
Is that a crossover?
Oh, got him. Alright, let's heal up.
Good work. Good job. Fine, then.
I have the ult with no, but I'm doing it. I'm mad. I'm mad.
Find the bridge.
Mercy took it if you wanna.
Point. On a back cover. On it. Yeah, the fact that they have a hog now, that's big. Put down. Slow.
Oh
Nice,
no.
I don't know.
GG guys.
GG.
Hey, what's up guys, SeanGuy here. I know there are plenty of aiming guides out there for various FPS games, starting from original Counter-Strike, but this one is specific for Overwatch. I'll go over settings that help with aiming in game, as well as tracking versus flicking and other things. So let's just get right into it. First thing I want to mention is an option in settings that not many people know about, called Reduce Buffering. When you turn this on, it reduces input lag, which is really important for snappy aim. One thing to note though, if you have an old PC, I'd avoid this setting since it might eat away at your frame rate. Do give it a try though. The next thing is sensitivity. Most pros play with extremely low sensitivity around values of 3 to 6, since aiming is just so much more accurate with low sensitivity. The default value of 15 is really high. I mean, it depends on the DPI of your mouse, but for most people, 15 will be high. Try setting this to a lower value and adjusting to it over time. It might take a couple of hours to adjust, it might even take days. And it will be a bit frustrating at first, but it will help your aim a lot in the long run. Personally, I went from 15 to 10 to 8 and now 6. And I really believe that my aim is just so much better than when I used to play with 15 sensitivity. And on this page we can also talk about your reticle. Which reticle do you use? Personally, I hate reticle bloom because when it blooms you can't really tell where the exact center of your screen is. And I really like short crosshairs or the dot. I've seen a lot of people use dot as well because it takes up so little space on your screen. But I just couldn't get used to that because for me that little dot just disappears. And I'm also used to the short crosshairs from Counter-Strike back in the day. And the green color is definitely, I think, the best. Now let's talk about two distinct aiming styles, flicking and tracking. Flicking is when you shoot a target with a flick of the wrist. You flick your crosshair to the target real quick and return to your original position. You can practice this with training bots by setting an anchor point and flicking like I'm doing now. This type of aiming is useful for heroes with powerful single shots like McCree, Widowmaker, Scoped In, Ana, and etc. And when you get better at this, it's just really satisfying to hit these headshots. Now onto tracking. Tracking is when you follow your target's movements and keep your crosshair on your target at all times. I'm sure you've done this with heroes like Tracer or Soldier, as they have fast-firing machine guns with larger clips. You can practice this aim by circling around the training bots. This is especially useful for Tracer to get into the rhythm of emptying a clip, killing your target, and dashing while reloading. For Tracer specifically, try to aim for the neck instead of the head, as the spread from her gun is fairly large and going for the neck is better most of the time. Now let me share some general aiming tips with you guys. The first one is don't stand still and aim. Try to move with your target whenever you can. It makes aiming so much easier. Like you see now, what I'm doing, I'm standing still and I'm trying to hit these targets. I mean, I'm hitting them, but it's so hard to hit them. What if your target was sidestepping like this? Or what if you're trying to hit someone while you're sidestepping? It's hard. If you move with your target, it's so much easier to keep your crosshair on your target because you move at the same speed, which is kind of why Lucio speed boost is so crazy for your team, because your team just becomes so much harder to hit for the enemies. Another tip, you know how I told you lowering your sensitivity will increase your accuracy? Try using your whole arm to aim with lower sensitivity over just using your wrist. Muscle memory when using your whole arm is so much more reliable. And since your arm has a larger range of motion than your wrist, it goes hand in hand with lower sensitivity to increase your accuracy. And the last tip I'm going to leave you with is when you turn the corner, you need to anticipate where your enemy will be and keep your crosshair there. For example, if you think the enemy is just around the corner at your character's eye level, then keep your crosshair where their head would be. If they're above a platform, keep your crosshair where they would be on that platform. Turning the corner correctly used to be a big deal for Counter-Strike, and it's the same deal in Overwatch. If you can turn corners correctly, you can effectively minimize the distance you need to move your crosshair onto your target, thus letting you aim faster. And that's the story, guys. I hope you enjoyed this guide, and hopefully it can help you become the DPS Hokage you always wanted to be. I know this was for hitscan, and maybe I'll make a separate projectiles guide as well. By the way, guys, I'm sorry if the little montage in the beginning wasn't impressive at all. I played one ranked game today to get footage for this video, and I cut decent looking portions together from that one match. I'll make a video in the future where I fish out a bunch of sick plays, I promise. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you. See you tomorrow with another video. SeanGuy out.